What is self-hypnosis and how to use it to get unstuck? Interview with Victoria Gallagher. Have you been feeling stuck and not hitting your goals and feeling stressed? Would you like to learn some practical tips so that you can get stuck and move forward towards achieving your goals? Then stay tuned, as our guest today will share how you can use the self hypnosis and other powerful techniques to release those negative thoughts and blocks, rewire your subconscious mind, and achieve your goals and live a fulfilling life as the best version of yourself. So, welcome. You are watching Happy and Healthy Mind program episode 115. And our guest today, Victoria Gallagher, is a worldwide leader in hypnotherapy, a best selling author, international speaker, life success coach, and renowned authority on the law of attraction. She has dedicated her life to empowering people all over the world to successfully live a life of liberty align with their dreams through her effective meditative recordings, online courses, and her podcast, The Power of Mind. And I'm your host, Dr. Rosina Lakhani. As an integrative psychiatrist for the last 26 years, I have helped many people overcome burnout, anxiety, and depression. I know that there are some factors that are not in your control, but there are some that are. And that is why we share practical tips for your mental fitness over here. If you need specific medical advice, please consult your healthcare professional. But if you find this content helpful, then join our mission of eradicating preventable suffering by liking, subscribing, and sharing so more people can live and perform at their best with hope, health, and happiness. All right, so let's learn from our guest. Thank you, Victoria, for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rosina, for having me on your wonderful Happy and Healthy Mind podcast. I'm privileged to be here.
Thank you. Thank you. So tell me, how did this topic become important in your life?
Oh my goodness. I mean, there's been various different points in my life where I learned about this power, and where it really stuck with me though was back about 24 years ago when I was completely burnt out, stressed out, stockbroker, making a decent amount of money. I had everything going right in my life. There wasn't anything really to complain about, but I just wasn't fulfilling my mission and my purpose in life anymore. I really felt like it was just something that I did. I was just I was just kind of depressed and anxious and confused and just not really in touch with my purpose. And so I went into a personal development seminar, and during the 4 days of the personal development seminar, we learned a lot of like what they call closed eye techniques. And, we just kept closing our eyes and visualizing and really getting in touch with our body and getting in touch with the power of our mind and our goals. And we did a lot of really cool techniques. And that's really where I learned self hypnosis. Again, I mean, I had learned it by reading some books early on when I was about 18, but I sort of set it aside. And this is where it really took, because I was in a large group of people and I just had this epiphany and I had this profound experience. And I came away from that experience feeling like I could do anything, like I could set the world on fire, and I mean, in a good way, that I just felt confident in myself. I felt more relaxed. I felt
Mhm.
happier. I felt like I was really in touch with my purpose.
Mhm.
And so I went on to, decide that I wanted to share this kind of information with the world, and kind of led me to getting certified in hypnotherapy, which I did this is like now back in 1999. And I wanted to, create a website to give people really easy access so that they could just, at the time, buy the cassettes, which
Yeah.
turned into CDs, which turned into downloads, which eventually turned into apps. But, I just wanted to do that. And unfortunately, I hit a point where I was working as a stockbroker, the branch manager found out that I'd started this business on the side, and I hadn't even started making any money yet. All I was doing was paying office rent, paying for advertising, all the things that you pay for until you start turning a profit. And he gave me an ultimatum, and he told me that I had 30 days to make a decision. So here I was going to have to make a decision between, here I am making a six-figure income as a stockbroker. Not only that, but I had stock that I had been investing 25% of my income into for the last 6 years, that I was going to lose about half of that, and if I walked away. And, I just kind of decided I'm going to walk away. And so I walked away, start all over from scratch, but, never ever looked back. I mean, I've obviously, went through some hard challenges and everything during the first, year and a half or so that I was working for myself, but I just, use the power of my mind, and sometimes I didn't use the power of my mind. And when I was like going through the fight or flight of that fear of, starting all over from scratch, I went through a little bit of a rough time, and I finally kind of got back in touch with myself, and I realized, oh, the whole reason why I got into doing this was because, I was stressed out. Was learning how to, meditate and do self-hypnosis on myself. But here I wasn't using it anymore
Yeah.
because I was like in a state of fight or flight. So I had that epiphany and that awareness that that's what I needed to do to go to the next, level. And so once I got back in touch with that again and started using it, that's when finally my business took off and I became successful and, never looked back. So that's, in a nutshell, that's my
Yeah.
story.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. No, and it's so timely for me right now. So yes, the audience are going to help benefit from this talk, but I think I'm also going to get help because I'm at that decision-making point where I still love my treatment work, and so I treat people with depression, anxiety, and burnout. But the insurance companies only pay when somebody's already sick, right? But
Uh-huh.
I really want to help people before they get sick. So
Yeah.
I'm starting a wellness clinic in addition to my illness clinic. So so this is going to focus on helping people stop burnout, develop resilience, and develop wellness using some precision medicine tools. So it's kind of a new branching I'm going through. And so like I was talking to my friend, it's like I'm feeling so excited because these tools are helping me. So I want to help others like you wanted to help. Yet I'm also feeling a little anxious because it means kind of starting from scratch. And the all work that I know is I've always worked with the insurances, and now I'm trying to go into a totally like non-insurance world, and people pay for their illnesses, but I don't know if they're going to pay for their wellness. And so I'm kind of going through that. So I'm going to use all your tools today to help me get over this feeling a little anxious and scared inside to bring the good in the world.
Yeah.
So I'm so
Amazing synchronicity. And, and absolutely, I strongly encourage that because, that is probably one of the biggest issues facing people, is that a feeling of stress, a feeling of anxiety. And, one thing to just really know, and hear me when I say this, is that when you have a desire planted in your mind, the desire that you have, it's there for a reason. And it is there, you have all the resources, all the tools, everything that you need to take yourself on that journey and to go to that next level. It's meant for you. And sometimes it's meant for you to advance to the next level of your spiritual and personal growth and development. And so I always, it's like it's natural to be scared. And through the process of, like just taking yourself into even 15 minutes of, some sort of affirmative self hypnosis every day where, you just take time out for your self care, which is, something that I so wish that I would have done right away in my first beginnings as a hypnotherapist myself. Like here I was kind of almost feeling like the biggest hypocrite because I was I had a website selling these things and teaching people to do this, and yet here I am, like, functioning on 4, 5, 6 hours of sleep a day, building my own website, making recordings, writing all of these recordings, not going to the gym, not taking care of myself, and people can feel that angst and that fear, and it acts as a little bit of a deterrent and a resistance from, God, the universe, law of attraction, giving you what you want.
Mhm.
And so I highly recommend, taking time each day, whether it's even 5 minutes,
Mhm.
but, 20 minutes to just check in with, close your eyes and, take some deep healing breaths and give yourself the suggestions of I trust my inner guidance. I love myself. I am worthy of success. I know that I can do this. I'm going to achieve my goals. And as you do that, you're going to program your subconscious mind to help guide you to see opportunities that you may not be aware of when you're working on your business goals each day.
That's wonderful. So you started to teach me a lot of techniques already. So thank you so
Already.
much. Yeah, so yeah, let's share some tools that people can apply. One thing that I just got out of this discussion was that even people who are teaching other people sometimes go through these dips, and it's okay. Second, we want to make sure that we take care of ourselves so that we can be present for our clients. And third, how to calm down that anxiety. You shared that I can do, or listeners can do 5 to 20 minutes of some breathing and meditation and do using some affirmations. So, kind of let's build on it a little bit, and can we go a little bit more in detail in terms of our audiences as they're listening to how to apply this self hypnosis? And before we go further into what is self hypnosis, because I think a lot of people may have heard about the word hypnosis, they may
Mhm.
not necessarily understand what self hypnosis is. So, guide us through what is hypnosis, what is self hypnosis.
Yeah, that's a really good question. And I do want to speak to what you said about, even people who help other people go through these things. I'm just going to say, especially people who help other people have gone through these things, because that's usually, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it's probably been the case, usually it's because of something that we have gone through, and so, we're not perfect. We're human beings, and, we're all going through things. So, getting back to the self-hypnosis. So, hypnosis in and of itself is what it is a state of heightened suggestibility, meaning that, you enter a more receptive state where you can give suggestions to the most powerful part of your mind, which is your subconscious mind. And those suggestions will now become your new way of behaving and acting and thinking. Now, it's not a quick fix. Oftentimes, it does require some repetition. And just to kind of give you a little bit of a deeper understanding, though, so you have two parts of your brain. You have your conscious mind, which is really the analytical beta thinking mind that's like always, it's the part of the mind that's just always thinking and remembering short-term things and analyzing. Then you have the deeper part of your mind, which is your subconscious. And that's really everything else. It's your emotions, it's your long-term memories, it's your habits. And, if you've ever like told yourself, oh, I'm going to start working out every day, starting on Monday, or I'm going to start that diet on Monday, or I'm going to, whatever this new habit is, you say you're going to do it, and then you do it for a couple of days. Well, what's happening is you do it a couple of days because you're acting on pure willpower, which is a conscious function of the mind. And the conscious mind is only like a small fraction of your mind. It's only 10%. If and some people say it's only 1%, 3%, 5%. Either, no one
The
knows
focus.
exactly what the percentage is, but it's a small fraction of the mind. The most powerful part of your mind is the part that basically kind of steps in and runs the show. And it's the part of your mind that's already made the decisions before you ever actually make any decision. It's the part of your mind that feel emotional for no reason at all. You have no idea, like, why am I having this emotion? Well, it's because something in your subconscious mind is being triggered, maybe a memory from the past, something that, you're just not consciously aware of. And when you get to Wednesday, and you're no longer doing the new habit, it's because the subconscious mind's bigger program is like not to do those things. And so hypnosis just gives you a way to reprogram that
Mhm.
subconscious mind. And, by putting the conscious mind to not quite sleep, but putting it into like a very deeply relaxed state, your subconscious mind becomes open and receptive to hearing and receiving the new suggestions to make the changes that you want to make in your life. And
Mhm.
over time, you're going to make these changes much, much more quickly than, if you were just trying to do this, through force, through willpower,
Mhm.
and or through everyday waking affirmations.
Mhm. Isn't it parallel to an organization when the orders are coming from top down, people do it, but then they start finding loopholes. But when the incentive is coming from bottom up, then everybody is engaged. And so you're engaging all
Ooh,
your
that's a
brain.
great way of yes, that's a great way of explaining it. And yeah, so it really is like a very, like temporary part of your mind. You're and it's just meant to be temporary. And the reason why is because I mean, we have, this fascinating system in our whole body that needs to stay in a state of homeostasis,
Mhm.
your heart beating all, consistently, your blood flowing consistently, your brain operating consistently, your eyes blinking. We have all these autonomic nervous system functions that are also stored in the subconscious mind. So your body is very intelligent, and it's not going to allow you just to go in there and tinker around with things very, easily. So it does take a little bit of intention and and repetition and consistency to get that subconscious mind reprogrammed to operate the way that you want it to operate. And I mean, because there are some very serious functions that your life depends on, that if you went in there and tried to change those, you can change. You can stop your heart from beating. You can actually, there is a mind body connection. You can heal your body with your mind. You can do all kinds of amazing things, the power of the mind. you know everyone has different levels of belief already in place. And so, to the degree that you believe or disbelieve is going to dictate how much work it'll take to get the subconscious mind to change and to move in the direction that you want it to go.
Hmm. And so, is that where the difference come between, doing self-hypnosis on yourself versus getting somebody else to a hypnotherapist like you to help you overcome the blocks?
Yeah, the main difference is that, self-hypnosis is self-directed and that hypnosis done by either recording or a live person is, you're still there is a saying called all hypnosis is self-hypnosis.
Mm.
So you're still allowing the suggestions to go in whether you're listening to yourself or you're listening to someone else. When you're listening to someone else, you are, in my opinion, you're able to go much deeper because you're not having to do the work. You're not having to like stay somewhat present enough so that you can actually give yourself and think. And it's almost like self hypnosis in a way, you're still a little bit more conscious than you would be if you were able to kind of let go and go a little deeper and not have to worry about, okay, I'm giving myself these suggestions and I have to, worry about, staying a little bit more awake and a little bit more aware. You're still going to be aware and awake when somebody else is doing it. You're just at a little bit of a deeper level when somebody else is doing it.
We're kind of running out of time, so we have like few more minutes. And I would love for you to kind of walk us through some exercise that people can use to help them feel happier, healthier, that they can apply right away before
Yeah,
and if they want to learn more, they can kind of go deeper and learn more. But let's kind of give them
absolutely.
a taste here.
Absolutely. I think one of the things that you can do to get instantly happy is, first of all, to think about 10 different things in your life, whether it's your body, your house, the place you live, that you feel grateful for. And I know sometimes, if you're in a really rough place, it's hard to think about like anything, like I don't have anything, but you really do. I mean, you can start with just the air that you have in your lungs because, you have air in your lungs if, if you're even thinking right now. And so begin to just think about all the things in your life that you have gratitude for. And then once you've written down those 10 gratitudes, just keep that note nearby and then take yourself into that state of self hypnosis. It's really easy to go into self hypnosis. All you have to do is think of these tens. Think about, closing your eyes and think about taking 10 slow, deep breaths in and out. That'll relax the body. To relax the body a little bit deeper, think about 10 areas of your body from head to toe. I'm relaxing my head. I'm relaxing my face. I'm relaxing my chest. I'm relaxing my belly. I'm, going all the way down to your feet. So there's the second 10. And the third 10, counting down from 10 down to 1 very slowly. Just 10, I am relaxed. 9, I'm going deeper. 8, okay. And so then you get all the way down to 1. And then when you get to 1, just barely open your eyes and read your gratitude statements that you just made. And just, say them out loud to yourself, whisper them to yourself. And as you're saying these gratitudes, feel them, see them, and hear yourself saying them using those 3 senses. Okay. And then once you've done that, just take a few moments and just breathe into your heart and make the intention that, today is going to be an amazing day because, I have everything that I need. And then just take a few deep breaths before you open your eyes and say, I'm wide awake, wide awake, wide awake. And you will have done a self hypnosis for gratitude.
That is wonderful. Yeah. Because I am total believer in gratitude. We didn't go into the detail, but my journey on this self-work started after a car accident where I broke my dominant hand. And
Ooh,
so,
ouch.
yeah, so like, my life was kind of going towards burnout, did not realize, ended up in the accident. But then the one tool that pulled me out was my gratitude practice. And
Yes. It is so important.
yeah, and it's like I still remember in my brain's eyes the first day when I wrote my gratitude journal was with my left hand, because then
Mm.
I was able to write, thank God for left hand, and so that I can continue for my eyes and for my mind and for my life and for the pillow to rest, my husband sleeping on my bedside, and ability to endure that pain. And since then, from that day till now, every day starts with a gratitude journal, gratitude practice.
Oh.
And so, by bringing this new perspective of doing self hypnosis with the gratitude list, that kind of is taking it so much. I can really see how powerful this can become and can help so many people feel happier. And we all can use a little bit of that during these times. So,
Oh, absolutely.
thank you for sharing such a powerful technique. I remember my first introduction to self hypnosis was when I was going through a hard time starting my psychiatry residency. And, because of the paperwork, everything was getting delayed. I was getting so worked up. And so one of my psychology professors did and what he did was he recorded what he wanted to hear. And then
Mhm.
I started listening to myself. So like it was a form of self hypnosis with some
Yeah.
of the support from those sets that were customized to my needs. And I kind of really learned that you can do what you can do. Like say if I have to do for 1 hour work, work on getting my paperwork and getting all sorts of things, there's no reason to punish yourself for the rest of the 23 hours. So I'm going to make the best of that time. And I still remember that affirmation, that suggestion, and it sank in and it really helped me through those difficult times. So yeah, I'm total believer
So
in the
powerful.
power.
Yeah, it's so powerful.
Yes.
And yeah, there's so many different ways of doing it. I have an app, and I have a new one coming out in hopefully by mid-July. We're still wrapping it up called Believe Hypnosis. And it's an app and it has gonna when it goes live, it's gonna have about 1,000 different recordings in there that I've recorded over my whole life of as a hypnotist.
Wonderful,
And
wonderful. That would be really powerful. 1,000 affirmations. That's wonderful. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm afraid we are out of time for today, so let's kind of wrap up and let our audience know if they want to learn more about you and all the wonderful things that you're doing with this special app that is coming out. Where can they reach you?
Yeah, so you can go to victoriamgallagher.com. Let me spell that out. It's VictoriaMgallagher.com. And over there, actually, if you want to learn more about self hypnosis, I have a free self hypnosis video training course. It's over, 8 lessons, and it's really an amazing course. And you can sign up for free right there on my website.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much. And thank you for the gift that you are sharing with our audience. So, Victoria is going to share a gift called How to Use Self Hypnosis to Manifest Success. And I think it will be
Yes.
a really helpful tool. And you can get it by visiting our website, happyandhealthymind.com. There's this big button called resources. Click it, and you'll be able to access this and all the other resources that our guests share on our podcast. And if you would like us to send you text reminders, you can also text the word joyful, that is JOYFUL, to the number 38470. And we'd be happy to share the links for these resources and reminders for future programs. And so let me leave you on this note. Every day is a new day. new opportunity to make different choices. What are the choices you're going to make today? Are you going to let your fear run your life and your past programming keep you stuck where you are? Or are you going to use some of the tools that you learned today to get unstuck, move forward, achieve your goal, and live your best life? Choice is yours. Stay safe, happy, and healthy. Until next time, Dr. Rozina. And thank you, Victoria, for joining us today.
Yes, thank you so much for having me on the show. And just remember to dream big and believe in yourself.
Thank you.